Hello and welcome to my May wrap-up. By now you've seen my plans for June, July, August, September, and have heard, no, May was not a good reading month. Everything is just kind of still off the rails. My floor has again disappeared as I'm trying to get my cubes, my books, and other things organized. I'll get there maybe someday, but I'm trying not to stress about it because there's just so many things going on in the world. This gives you an idea. Those orange marks are books I haven't finished, so to highlight what I need to get back to. I have a few on the other page as well, and I still have a bunch of books to finish from 2024. So, in May, I had planned to start reading The Dragon Reborn for the Wheel of Time group read. It will be a start in June. I have been planning to read Dune for years, as in 3. It's been waiting. I'm not sure if it's going to wait another year or if maybe this is the June I get started on it. Be sure to check out Aaron Hook's channel as he has the announcement for a Dune in June reading event. I did start Mark Critch's An Embarrassment of Critches. I enjoyed the first part. I made a little dent, and then, like I've been doing since January, I moved on to something else. It was horror mayhem, so I moved on to Ghosts of Silent Hill. This is by Anita Krishan. It took me a while to finish it. Although I enjoy reading ghost stories, and I've read hundreds of them throughout my life, there was just something about the way this book was written that made it a really slow read for me. And I'll talk more about that when I do a review about it. So, sticking with what I was going to do for my wrap up, 5 words about this would be culture, isolation, conversations, and I can only come up with 3. So I'm going to leave it there. Another book that I did manage to finish was Angels and Demons. I'll talk more about this in upcoming videos related to the Da Vinci Spiral. This is by Dan Brown, and the first book related to Robert Langdon. 5 words. I'm going to cheat and start with current events. Pope. No autopsy. Conspiracy theories. Thought-provoking. So not quite 5 words, but 5 terms. Another one I did finish was Spooky Tales. Spine-chilling stories of ghosts and ghouls. I picked this up at one of my thrift store hauls, and it was so sweet to see at the front of this, it's dated June 29th, 1987, and it's a birthday gift from a grandmother to her granddaughter. I'll talk more about the specific stories about this in an upcoming video. The description I'm going to give for this is fun and enjoyable. Unlike the other ghost stories, I managed to read this in a few days. Another book that I started but didn't finish is Mysteries from Forgotten Worlds. This is by Charles Berlitz. I also have his book on the Bermuda Triangle and Atlantis. I found all of these at my thrift store. I've read his work on the Bermuda Triangle decades ago, but I haven't read his work on Atlantis or this one. Like Mark Critch's book, it was a good read. I just didn't get it finished. I've been starting books, but just not following through on getting them done. I should also note I used tabs in Spooky Tales and handwritten notes. I just couldn't write in the book knowing that it was a gift from a grandmother to a granddaughter, so there you go. There are some books I won't write in. Another book that I did start and I didn't expect to finish. This goes along with the Bible project. I started the Idiot's Guide to the Bible. This I know won't be done until sometime in 2026, as I'm going to work through it slowly, connect it in with my Bible reading, and as you can see, I've got it tabbed to correlate so I can read those back and forth. So that one, I don't feel bad about not finishing. I knew even before I started it that this was going to be a much longer and slower read. The last two books I did start, Meeting Place of the Dead. This is by Richard Palmisano, a paranormal investigator here in Ontario, Canada. This is the third book of his that I have read. I'm enjoying the read, and I know I will definitely have this finished long before July, because Richard will be appearing on my live stream for the second time to talk about his work, Meeting Place of the Dead, as well as his other book, Overshadows, and I'm very much looking forward to that. The live stream with Richard will be on July the 10th at 2 p.m. That's the regular Thursday, but an hour earlier than usual. The final book for May, and I did manage to get this one finished, is Jim Butcher's Full Moon, book number 2 of the Dresden Files. My reading is still definitely way off track because this took me 6 days, and it's not really that big a book. I enjoyed it. I wanted to find out what was going on with all these different werewolves and Harry Dresden, but my reading is just not flowing as normal. Usually I could knock this off in a day, maybe 2 at the most. So still trying to get back on track with my reading. I do like the system that I have set up this year. When I first started keeping track in this book, I just basically listed my books and the start and finish date. This way, it's month by month, and I can quick at a glance see what I need to go back and finish. I'm keeping track of how many of the books are my own because my goal is to read my personal library. I also make note of if any of the books are from the library. So, for example, in January, 5 of the books were from the library. 2 of them were Chunky Monkeys for Akatar, and that in itself tells you how much my reading has changed because those books were, I think, between 600 to 700 pages, and I certainly didn't read anywhere close to that throughout the month of May. I wish I could say it was because I was busy doing yard work outside, but no, the weather was cloudy, cold, rainy, highly unusual for this time of year. So I think part of me not staying on track with my reading is just things were off kilter emotionally, physically, and fingers crossed things improve in June. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you noticed your reading a bit different this year? Are things pretty much the same and on track for you? And until next time, remember, be safe, be well, and big hugs.